without further ado, I'm going to pass you over to our first speaker for the day. It's Hector. He's the founder of included.co. He's got a fantastic talk to give to you. So, let's have a round of applause for Hector as he passes it over.
Hello. It always sucks to be the first person on. Yeah, I've learned. So I'm Hector. I'm the founder over at included.co. I'm going to be talking a little bit today about shared spaces and why they're more than just desk space. I should probably note I'm more programmer than orator, so if I speak too fast or there's something I don't portray well, throw something at me or get me to slow down, or just tweet me and tell me, yeah, dude, you can't speak. I'm good with it. So before I start, let me introduce a little bit about what we're building at Included. Included is all about building technology that helps young businesses save time and money. We do that in two very, let's say, precise ways. Firstly, we predict and learn what different types of companies need at different times in their life cycle. We then take that information and do our second fun activity. We use a group buying mechanism to push down prices on all the things that businesses need, probably before they even realize that they need them. So that's what Included does. Now, the trick as to why that ties in with shared spaces is our service is only available within shared spaces. And whenever I say that, people always look at me like I'm nuts. Like, why are you making it so exclusive? Every entrepreneur needs a buying platform to get the services they need. And one of the most important things is that I've seen firsthand the benefits that companies get from being next to other companies. And that's why I've spent this whole talk, pretty much after I've done this introduction, taking you through 10 reasons why shared spaces are valuable. So I think that introduces a little bit about Included. If you want to know more about what we're building and our big dream of connecting businesses to the right supplier at the right time, catch me afterwards. I won't go too much about that. It's not a pitch after all. So, what exactly are shared spaces? I'm sure you've heard of the notion in some way or form. In our term, we call them collectives. We like to classify a shared space or a collective as somewhere where at least one or more businesses, or two or more businesses, are utilizing a certain space, its amenities, and the facilities. So that's a brief introduction as to what we classify as shared spaces. Now, I'm sure you've realized that the sharing economy has skyrocketed. Everyone is sharing everything, and because of that, the types of shared spaces has also diversified into lots of different types. We, at our company, classify them into 5 different types. The shared offices, co-working spaces, incubators, accelerators, and new spins. I know we're going to hear more about accelerators and incubators a bit later, but just running over the main differences between these 5. The first is a shared office. That's normally a startup who gets a bit more space than they need or have closed down. Maybe they've had to get rid of people and they have empty desks. They open up those desks to other entrepreneurs who can then rent the space and not have to pay bills and things like that. Co-working spaces are more commercial entities where they open up and they've got sort of program, they've got a community manager who looks after the startups who live there, work there, don't live there. Then you've got incubators who have a level of mentorship. They bring in people to give you talks and make sure you get a bit more from the desks than just that space. And then you get accelerators who normally ask you to buy some of your equity in order to use their space. They also have a time limit on their space, so you can only stay there for a certain amount of time, normally 3 to 6 months or 9 months. And then you get the new category that we've seen a lot of. One that really sticks in my mind is a shared space that's in 5 or 6 cities now that you rent desk space by the minute. So I think it's something like 60p per minute. Food's free, coffee's free, internet's free, but you pay per minute, which it's a new spin. And we're seeing a lot of people trying to disrupt the disrupting of office space. So that's the different types of shared spaces. Now, that's not what my talk's actually about. Hopefully the slide changes. There we go. So my talk is actually about the 10 reasons why you should join a shared space. I should probably note that there are some very animated GIFs coming up. So if any of you are worried or about the flashing images, I apologize for now. Health and safety and all that, right? So, number one, it's great to avoid cabin fever. The last thing you want to do when you're building a business is land up being trapped in your own house. It's great in the beginning, it's great that you can get away from the world and build something, but you slowly start losing your mind. I worked at home for 3 years before, in my past life as a consultant, and I often felt like doing that every time I left the house. Having somewhere to go that there's other people gives you that breakaway, so you don't have to lose your mind at home. Second valuable reason is the fact that there's people around who you can ask questions to. You can ask for feedback, you can ask for assistance, you can just have someone to say, hey, can you go for a coffee with me? It's you know, as polite as these animals are, it's great to have that network to join that you can't get at home unless you really want to go out with people at home. So reason 3 is you have a reason to put your trousers on. Now, as funny as the gift is, you've got to remember that entrepreneurship has very high highs and very low lows. When you have those lows, it's very hard to get yourself out of bed. It's very hard to get back into routine, to get yourself back to work. Having somewhere to go, having that community that is expecting you to be there, being able to see other people succeed along the same journey that you're on is very, very good for motivation. So don't try and put your trousers on like that, but it's a good reason to get you out of bed in the morning, to have somewhere to go, to be in a shared space. Reason number 4 for joining a shared space. Sorry, I'm just enjoying it. So, because the sharing economy has exploded into the flexible workspace market so much, there are spaces pretty much for every type of individual. Whether you're an introvert, an extrovert, whether you've got a team of 3 people or a team of 50 people dispersed around the world, there are shared spaces that accommodate every type of business. So that's a good reason that you don't have to join a tech space, you don't have to join a consulting freelance space. There's also the flexibility if you jump between spaces. The sharing economy is really, really evolved to allow you to get what you need out of each type of space. Okay, so reason number 5 is the fact that you get to share the costs. Setting up a business is expensive, or it used to be really, really expensive. It's less expensive now. But knowing that you don't have to pay for internet, you don't have to pay for coffee, you don't have to pay for electricity, is a very big burden of a founding team's head. And if you're not stressing about that, it means you can worry more about what's important and building that is probably building a great product and talk to your customers, not having to chase EDF and all that. Now, talking about chasing electricity and stuff like that, co-working spaces are also plug and play. So the only frustration you really have is if your computer stops working, but everything else, like waiting for internet to get connected, waiting for, you know, the water bills to come, or get things to get set up like that, it's a waste of time. We know how quickly the world's changing. We have not got time to wait for the internet to be connected. So you can plug and play in almost any country. You can arrive there with your laptop or your desktop or whatever it is, plug in, and you've got an office anywhere in the world. Great thing about shared spaces. I don't know if I pressed the button. All right. So another great thing is that a lot of our businesses, we can't predict how many team members we're going to need or not need in a certain amount of time. Being able to flexibly expand or reduce your team allows you to respond to the challenges of the market a lot faster. Let's say you're an e-commerce company who needs more hands on deck for Christmas. You know that you can rent 10 desks for the 2 months leading up to Christmas and wind down those 2 desks, wind down back to 2 desks after those 2 months. Not having to spend a lot of money getting extra office space that you don't need the entire year purely because you need extra hands on deck at peak seasons. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing that in any of our spaces though. Probably piss off some people sitting next to you. So, rule number 7, I think I'm going a bit fast. Everyone can hear me right? Yeah? Haven't gone too fast? No? Fantastic. Okay, one of the obvious benefits, I've left it sort of till last, 8 out of 10, is the fact that you'll probably make more money being in a shared space. If you are in a business that works or can work with other companies in the shared space that you join, you'll probably end up finding that you can make more money by being in a shared space as opposed to being at home. You'll also be able to form synergies, enter new projects together, create new startups that you probably wouldn't have thought about by mixing with people in these shared spaces. So most of us create businesses to make money or to use money for the social good. Being able to make more money is a really good point about being in a shared space. So moving on to 9. I'm still laughing at the gifs. So because you'll probably join a space of people who are in a similar business to you or in businesses that are related to you, you'll find yourself having conversations on things that matter as opposed to the conversations you probably have when you're sitting in a coffee shop like, yeah, please don't spill coffee on my laptop, or can you watch us while I run to the loo? So being able to be in a space that you've got more in common with the people around you, or you're on a similar journey or path or stage as the people around you, whether it's an accelerator, incubator, co-working, or shared space, you'll probably find that you'll get a lot more from the conversations you have every day. Which brings us to the last reason, and I'm really upset because I think it's the last animation I get to show, and it's all about staying focused. If you really want to take your business to the next level, you have to get out of the house, you have to be able to go speak to people, you have to know that you need someone you can go put your headphones on if you have to put your headphones on and get your work done, and separate that life-work balance. So having access to a shared space, even if it's one desk or a hot desk, or you jump between desks, having somewhere you can put your headphones on, not worry about not having to order coffee before they kick you out, or how awkwardly the barista's looking at you. Having that place is very, very important. Now, I understand I'm first, and I hope my speech was pretty good. I saw a few giggles, which is good. So yeah, that's the 10 reasons. I think it's very, very important to be in shared spaces. As I said, Included's only available in shared spaces. So I'm more than happy to answer any more questions either now or in the networking sessions. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for coming out on a Saturday. I look forward to speaking to you all.